Hello SUMC, Rob here, reporting in from one of SUMC Music's remote outposts with some more thoughts and another friendly check-in to continue to hope you're safe and well and to encourage you to stay in touch. Last night during choir rehearsal, we gave the choir some idea of what this upcoming Sunday, Palm Sunday, was going to be like. Well, we do that during most of our rehearsals, but usually it constitutes rehearsing the music we're going to sing, and that's about it. This Sunday, though, will be a bit different than our usual in a lot of ways. Fair warning to them and to you. If you remember Palm Sunday last year, and honestly it's been a mad enough year that you may not and no one would blame you, last year's Palm Sunday service was a departure from our standard order of service. The purpose, then and now, was to try to demonstrate and experience the movement from Jesus' triumphant entry into Jerusalem, yay, toward the rest of Holy Week. Less yay. So, during the first half of the service, palm waving and hosannas as usual, but midway through, Kevin will play an organ postlude, and no, that's not a mistake in my video script. He'll play a piece which will help us pivot into the rest of the service, which consists of scripture readings that will move us into Maundy Thursday and Good Friday, that portion of the story, interspersed with verses of Were You There?, during which the chancel will gradually be stripped of all its finery. So, in all this, the choir gets to be part of a palm-waving procession early in the morning, and then during one of the Were You There verses, they will exit the chancel in a particular fashion. Not a lot of extra activity for the choir, but rather than to try to communicate these details on Sunday morning before service, when all kinds of craziness is usually breaking out anyway, it's much more humane to talk about all that on Thursday night. And, very importantly, to walk through it. My training, some of you may know very well, is in mobile music. In 1976, I marched with my trumpet in Wayland's Memorial Day Parade as part of the Alltown Elementary School Band, and I never really looked back. Ever since, I've retained a fondness for music made whilst on the move. I discovered that the combination of movement and music was a powerful one. When I got to college, I was faced with the prospect of memorizing the music for a complete halftime show in just a few days, and I wondered how I'd do it. Turned out I was a much better memorizer if I could link various musical phrases with what I was doing on the field, which way I was pivoting, who the people around me were, what yard line I was crossing at the time, all that stuff. The visual and kinesthetic input helped me remember what the heck I was supposed to be playing. For a sound-oriented musician, it turns out I'm a very visual learner. So, the experience of gathering in the narthex, walking up the center aisle, making a loop around the outside of the sanctuary pews, going up the center aisle again, and ascending the steps into the chancel on a Thursday night will better inform us choir types on Sunday morning when we need to do all that for real. It's very much like driving a route you'd never driven before needing to do it for real later. A dress rehearsal. In a way, that combination of physical activity and musical sound is pretty much the ball game when it comes to ringing our set of choir chimes, which will also be part of Sunday's service. 8 or 9 or 10 of us, I actually lose count, will present a couple of hymn arrangements, and I promise you, the physical act of ringing chimes in a particular order with a particular set of muscles practiced enough times in a row becomes its own version of kinesthetic reminders about how we're supposed to do things. See, I knew all that marching about as a young person was going to pay off. See you Sunday. And again, be prepared for service to be different. And remember, no matter what happens, that's the way we planned it. Yay! Anyway, please check back here every Friday afternoon if you like for more video hellos here on SUMC's Facebook page or on the SUMC YouTube channel, Sudbury United Methodist Church 2501. My email address will appear here momentarily. Please feel free to use it anytime for any reason. And as always, if you need to get in touch with any church staff people for any reason, please do during normal business hours, because no matter how, no matter what, doing the work of the church together is the big thing. Keep in touch, keep the faith, stay connected.